All right, Zac Babb here with Saffold's head football coach Kirk Eaton on the Week 6 edition of Monday Morning Football. First off, Coach, huge win over Cy Ridge, 38-31. Just to start off, that whole first half, y'all played from behind. Cy Ridge, they had control of that game the entire first half. Going into halftime, what do you have to say to your guys?
Well, the first thing we did was we got the staff together, and I said, let me get in there and either rip them and wake them up or calm them down, or I didn't know what I was going to do. I just knew I was going to kind of take their pulse. And the good news is when I opened the door, they were completely calm. A lot of big eyes looking at me. Just wanted to know what the plan was. So I felt good about that because as bad as we had played, and we had played bad, it was still, we were down, by 2 scores, 14 points. We're getting the ball first coming out of the second half. So I was glad that, I think a lot of seniors, there have been a lot of guys there that played a lot of football. They were very calm, very relaxed. They just wanted to know what they had to change. And so, it was really more about the plan than what was said.
All right, and then going into that game, too, you had the #1 rushing defense in the district. You're going up against Rennie Childs, who led the league, who led the district in rushing last year. He didn't get a snap in the fourth quarter, went down with an injury, but you still held him to 89 yards.
Absolutely.
Your run defense this year has been unstoppable.
It's been the most consistent part of our team, for the last 6 weeks. I mean, if you look and you say what's the one thing that has not changed, that's been it. I mean, no one's run the ball. Langham Creek, I guess you could say, had the most success, and that was due to, I think, trying to catch back up. We had to do some things we wouldn't want to do. But when we can, pin our ears back and just play defense, run defense, we're as good as I've ever seen, and the guys are just really, really bought into the system. They're dialed in with Coach Brister, and they know exactly, what's expected of them, and they're really executing, and tackling well. But just really sound run defense.
More on that defensive side of the ball, DJ Wattell did not play. Marcus Franklin. I never saw him get any snaps.
Right.
Secondary adjustments. How did that go over this game?
You kind of have to play the hand that you're dealt. And, with some injuries and stuff, it is what it is. Expect them both back this week. They both practiced yesterday and looked good in practice. So, but the good news is Toriel Caballero stepped up, really played well. Had 12 tackles in a game where we were going to need it. And then Nick Kroom probably had his best game of the year at corner. So we had 2 guys step up. There were so many guys that stepped up. Thomas Kane stepped in and played center. Cooper Abercrombie was a combination of sick and injured, and then with Jacory going out, we had so many receivers. I think we had 8 different guys catch the ball, which just speaks well to the team not giving up, believing in each other, and then just stepping up, next in line and making plays. So there's a lot of guys that did a lot of good things.
And specifically on the front of that defensive line, Jacoby Hunter and then out of nowhere Manasseh Miles. Where'd that come from?
Jacoby, we kind of always knew what we had, but Jacoby, I think, to a credit to him, he wanted to be even better than he was. He did some things off-season wise. He went and got I'm not sure if the guy's a chiropractor or what, but Jacoby can do the splits. We've got a 300-pound nose guard that can do the splits, so he's more flexible, and he was always strong. So I think Jacoby just wanted to, kind of up his game, and to his credit, whatever he did really worked. And you get lucky sometimes when guys move in, and Manasseh Miles moving in is just a really good football player. And it's funny, I think Manasseh showing up kind of gave us a little breath of fresh air, and I think it picked Jacoby's game up. I think it picked up Jared Crawford and Claudius Foley, and then even the young sophomore Devontae Lampkin. They've all just kind of responded and fed off Manasseh's energy, and then he and Jacoby are just almost having a competition on who can have a bigger stat line, and I'm all for it because it's really helped. But just really playing sound, and they're really good athletes, really strong kids, and then high character kids too that really buy into what we're doing. So it helps a lot.
Just that defensive line in itself, especially going down the stretch with all those guys who can play, and you're running a 3-4, so really you only need 3 on the line, and just for one to play, just going, you got playoffs coming up, you got a big slate of games to finish out the regular season. How much of a benefit is that?
It is depth. Depth is the key, and we're able to roll guys in there and keep them fresh, and I think that's a lot of where that only giving up 480 yards has come from. So we're just fortunate. Some years you have great depth and some years you don't. Last year we didn't have great depth in that D-line. It probably cost us somewhere along the way. But right now, man, we're just rolling guys in there left and right. playing well together, stepping up to the challenge. You know they've still got to play Keith Ford, and they got to play a Cy Woods offense that's still Cy Woods. Cy Woods is always going to put points, put yards up. Cy Lakes, has put points on the board on a lot of people, but I really don't expect that these guys are going to, take them lightly. I think they're going to use it as an opportunity just to get better, which is what they're doing each week. So you just can't say enough about the depth. It's really, really going to pay off.
All right, then you got Cy Lakes coming up this week, Thursday night game. Total this year, they've only scored 76 points. Still winless. Just what's your strategy this week?
Strategy is to get it done. I mean, our guys know, we preach it, every week that you got to show up to play in this district. 17-5A is tough, and I can't think of anything worse that could happen to us right now is if we were to go to sleep at the wheel and just kind of take somebody for granted and let them take something from these guys that they worked so hard for, and it almost happened last week. You look up, all of a sudden you're 24-10. So, I think maybe being where we were at halftime was a wake-up call, and these guys have set a goal. They want to be district champs, and they want to qualify for the playoffs. So I think that they're focused and they understand what they need to do this week. And had a really good day of practice yesterday. Hopefully we followed up again today. And usually when you run good practices together, the result is a really good product on the field. So so far, feel really good about where their heads are.
All right, Coach. Thanks for your time. Good luck.